Hello guys, Dr. Patrick Price here today, and we're updating 2019, January 8th from our office. And I'd just like to say hi to everybody, see who's out there today, and give you guys some tips for this year. Are you ready? Okay, we're ready. And do you see a little steam go to my shoulder here? Let me see. That's not an optical illusion, that's actually my little egg back there. It looks like a little dinosaur egg. That is essential oils going to the air. I'll start my talk off right there. Those of you in your home with all the bugs and all the bad stuff going on right now to make people sick, of course it's kind of warm here today in Houston, is you can raise the frequency up inside your home. Now this is not a conspiracy theory, things like that. These are actual scientific facts that if you want to change the energy in your home, your office, of course, if you're in an office and you start doing your essential oils, someone next to you may complain, which often does. So in your home, you have these the available space and area to experiment with oils. What I recommend is getting the organic lavender oils, one of the easiest oils to use. This is 118 hertz, okay, hertz. So what happens is bacteria is down and viruses are down under 60 hertz. Your body is 62 to 68. We had to talk about this just the other day. So remember, when you're raising the vibration, the frequency, if you will, by hertz in your home, using lavender oil will raise it up and kill over 200 known bacteria. Now, it's not just like I'm saying it today, and I just made this up this morning, is over in China, several hospitals run lavender oil through all the ventilations in the hospital. And they just noticed people were sick a lot less. People recover better from having essential oils. So one of the easiest things you can do in your home is get even in Walmart these days, guys, go over there and get one of the cheap little humidifiers. This one here is nice. A patient gave us a nice little present this year. This is from Young Living. Notice it looks like a dinosaur egg. Okay, these things work great. They're easy to use. They're simple. So many drops of oil a day to keep the freshness in your room. Now in here I use different oils all the time. Different oils have different hertz. The highest is still rose oil, 320 hertz. So if you really want to raise the vibration of your home, 320 hertz. Now, it may not need that you need something that strong. Like I said, organic, get the organic lavender oil, very easy to use, very easy to disperse. You can use 10 drops, 15, 20-something drops. Just kind of, as you notice mine's going on and off over here. As it goes on and off intermittently, you can make it a little more concentrated that way so it doesn't overpower the nose when you smell. Okay, Brandy, Walter, hey guys, Sasha. Now, let's talk about a few things. Since we talked about essential oils, let's discuss my video. Okay, some of you may know this video who've been to my office, some do not. I look like a magician here, moving energy around, right? Okay. Now, I'm not a magician. I am a doctor of chiropractic, but I practice holistic medicine, which means I looked at the whole body for natural medicine. If you come into the office right now, I'll give you a free copy of this. This is a Qigong, Tai Chi, and working with Qi energy. Japanese call it Qi, Chinese call it Qi. If you're like Walter here, he's Mr. Qigong out there, Mr. Tai Chi guy. He knows all about this. If you're looking to practice every morning, like I do, just going through some basic movements of Qigong, just opening up and just slowly coming to a peace in the mind and a calmness and having no thoughts to begin your day, this DVD is for you. Because I have 5 Qigong movements, which what I just saw, what I just showed you right now. This one here is one of the first ones. Very easy. It works on the triple warmer, Meridian. It runs down the side of the armor. Triple meaning thyroid, thymus, and adrenals. So 3 things that heat the body. So you're basically in the morning doing this particular movement to wake up your body. So there's ones to do to calm the body, to wake up the body. But energetically, if you're doing the Qigong, Tai Chi movements, you're doing the internal arts. Means they're very soft, not very physical like a yang, like lifting weights and running. So some days, especially you guys over 50, you need to do more soft yin exercises than you do yang like you do in your 20s. But still doing some yang is good. Still running a little, still lifting weights, doing martial arts like I love so much, doing things that wake the body up. But know when your body is tired, know when it needs something slower. When you wake up in the morning, maybe you want to jump rope one morning. Okay? So I made this list. So Dr. Price, morning routines. Okay? Now this is because every day when I see you guys, you're always asking me questions in the office and online and of course here. What can I do in the morning? Well, how about this? Qigong Tai Chi. You wake up today, instead of thinking about what you're going to do and the stresses you're going to endure, do a couple Tai Chi movements, a couple Qigong. Now, the key breath is something I'll discuss later because it's more of a hard, forceful breath. But Qigong is very simple. It takes you 5-10 minutes in the morning. Start your day off calming the mind, emptying the mind, if you will. The Taoists, Taoism, Buddhism, these things are not religions. They're more of a way to live your life, to more commune. So even if you're a very religious person, studying these methods does not take you away from your learning in religion. It does not break any 10 commandments, kill, steal, harm animals. You're just living a way. And so the way is to clear the mind. And some say, well, Dr. Price, meditation is not allowed at my church. Well, how about clearing your mind? Is that allowed? All it is changing the wordage. So if you pray, you're praying to God, hey, God, thank you for all the wonderful things. If I'm meditating or clearing my mind, I'm listening to God, if you will. So you guys take it as you will, which one you need to do, or even both. Next thing I'm going to do is talk about a yang exercise. I think that's not open. Excuse me, guys. I have a patient. Go around the other way. So I'm on video. Yeah. That's patient coming in. So jump rope. Jump rope in the morning. Maybe you guys want a yang exercise. You know, wake your body up. Get a jump rope. Easiest thing you did as a kid, and jump rope in the morning. Now, what I like to do is count like 100, 200, and work up to like 300 times you're working the rope. So jump rope in the morning. Another thing would be Donna Eden is one of the late great holistic healers in our world today. She wrote a wonderful book about energetic medicine, and some people have made charts out of her work. Okay, and basically a lot of this stuff is qigong movements, like we're talking about. Okay, so she has a routine in the morning, which is very nice. I kind of change it a little bit, where you're thumping on the meridian sites. You're thumping your thymus gland. You're making contact with your meridians, waking the body up in the morning. You're doing the exercises to the mind. You're breathing, something we don't really, something in America, really, we're one of the only countries, when I travel internationally, that we take breathing for granted. We think we just, okay, I did a breath. No, I mean, like, really breathe. Make your belly move. Make your chest move in rhythm. And there's lots of routines to do in breathing. So the idea is, when I give you these routines, is to give you a list of choices. So that way you don't get bored. You do something, sometimes we get bored doing the same thing, right? So what about your gratitude list? What about waking up in the morning, lying in the bed before you get up, and just say, thank you for all the things that God in life. I can hear, I can see, I can smell, I can taste, I can feel. Well, right away, you already have senses that some people may be missing one or two. They may be blind. They may be deaf. Okay? So you have already something given to you that others do not have. Be thankful for those things. If you walk around every day thinking about what you don't have, where are your thoughts going to be on all the things that you do not have? I don't have a healthy body. God, I'm overweight. I'm underweight. God, I'm just not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not sexy enough. Okay, whatever you're thinking about, I should have a nicer car, a nicer home. We go through these things too, right? Because you look across the street and you see your neighbor, and you say, golly, look, he's got a new car. Wow, I should have one. Does that really matter? Is it really the world works that way? It shouldn't, because that's just going to create a stress for you. What I'm telling you is be thankful for what you do have. Do you have a car that runs to get you to work, to get you place to place? Be thankful. Some do not. Do you have a bicycle? Some do not. Do you have a nice roof over your house? Is your house leaking? Thankful. Hey, my place does not leak. It doesn't flood. So there's many things to be thankful for, to go over your gratitude list. And that can be one of the first things you do when you get up in the bed in the morning, is lie there, first of all, before you get out of the bed, and go through your gratitude list. Easy enough, guys? I don't see a yes over here. Okay. Now, how about dancing in the morning? Anybody dance? Oh, it's against my religion. Every culture in the world dances. Go to any country and go back into the jungles, the woods, the aboriginals. What are they doing? Ooga, ooga. They jump around the fire, right? Every culture dances. So if somebody's telling you dancing is against God's way, I don't think it is that way. Dancing is an expression of self. So if you think you're going to break some kind of rule by dancing, all right, turn your music in the morning, find your favorite Pandora station, CD, whatever, record player for some of us, okay, and play your favorite music and dance around your living room. Have your coffee or tea, whatever you do to wake you up, and dance. Try it one morning. No one's watching, right? Unless you open your window and let your neighbors look in. Dancing. Everybody knows Michael Jackson. Do your best Michael Jackson move. Walter, I know you know how to moon step or moon dance. Okay, toning. What is toning? Toning is using the voice. A lot of the monks did this in the past where they use the voice. They do the toning of the voice. Now, once again, it's not a very American thing to do, but then again, if you're looking deeper into self, I'm always looking myself to improve, to learn something new, to go deeper into knowledge and wisdom. My intellect is, okay, I read a book, I became an engineer, became a doctor, became a scientist. I'm very smart, right? Yeah, I could say that. And over time, these are experiences you have. This is something different than just having intellect. Got it, guys? So learning to tone is toning your voice as a vibration. Once again, you're changing the vibration of your body as you make sound. So if you try toning in the morning alone, in your car, maybe you're sitting in traffic like in Houston, going an hour somewhere. Try some toning, turn your radio off, and listen to your own voice for a moment. You might be surprised how you feel when you're done. Meridian tracing, this is something to go over later. Meridian tracing is a technique I learned from a guy over in California, and how you go and you tap all the meridians in the body. And that's a wake up in the morning drill also. The original way is tapping each meridian and going through the body, which can take you a long time. Of course, maybe if you're like a Chinese guy on a mountain somewhere and you don't have a 9-to-5 job, you could do this. But here in America, it's a little different. We have a job to go to, a family to take care of, and a lot of obligations. So maybe you just do the meridian tracing that I'll go through one morning and do the simple method that I learned from this guy. All right. Calligraphy. Anybody study calligraphy? I got this thing called a Buddha board. It's right here in my office behind the giant dinosaur egg. Okay. It uses water. I have a calligraphy pen, and you draw on the board and practice a little calligraphy. It can be Chinese, Korean, Japanese. What is gone from the schools today? Cursive writing, right? Cursive helps you be creative. There was a guy years ago, Bobby, I remember his last name. He was a handwriting specialist, meaning he could take your handwriting, a handwriting analysis, sorry, and Bobby could look at your handwriting and tell you about your personality, if you're angry, if you're sad, you're depressed, or are you stealing money, were you happily married, were you cheating on your wife or husband. He could tell you a lot of things he probably didn't want others to know about you, just looking at you signing your name. Now imagine if he wrote a whole paragraph, what he did. And this is what he used to do. I would write a paragraph and he'd analyze and tell you so much stuff about yourself you didn't even want to awake about. So one thing is how I was making an R one time. He says, see how you're making an R? This is where you're unhappy about this particular part of your life. I go, really? So just by making this little R cursive? So I went in, he showed me the correction. If you correct this, you'll correct the emotions. He was correct. He was right. So learning to do calligraphy, guys, and in the Asian cultures, I like the Chinese calligraphy because it's a way to open consciousness. You know, consciousness, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, okay? But we all agree there's different levels of consciousness, which I think we most should explore that. And one way to explore it is to get out of the conscious mind. This is where all the editing happens in your mind. You see something, you're already deciding whether you like it or don't like it before you even try it. But your subconscious is where all your feelings are. It's where all your learned experiences are from your childhood to now, to birth, really, right? So learning to tap into the subconscious through calligraphy. Here's one of my favorites. On my balcony in the morning, my time to be alone with nature is I go outside and I feed my birds, and I have several squirrels. So I have a couple squirrels that come right up to my hand and take the little peanut right out of my fingers, right? And there's a trust involved there, right? It took me about a year to really get this one little female squirrel to come down and take the little peanut from my hand. So this is like a getting close to nature, because I can walk out in the morning, none of the birds or squirrels will be next to me. They'll be 5 feet away from me. As soon as I practice that, you guys do your own experiment, and I promise you, you'll see a change. This has happened to me over and over since 2005. Is once I practice 5-10 minutes of Qigong, I literally can put a peanut between my toes and the squirrel will come take it out between my toes. You can laugh all you want, okay? But having the trust of a wild animal says there is definitely something about your energy when you practice an art like that. Think about that. The doves and other birds will come and eat the feed right under my feet. Not until I practice the Qigong. Because think about it, I first walk out there, I may have some kind of stress in my mind about my morning. I'm thinking about work, things that are undone. But when I do the Qigong or any kind of other practice, I clear those thoughts. Those thoughts become nothing. My mind becomes clear. And that is when the animals come close to you. This happens almost every morning when I practice it. Now, over the years, I had experiences where I'd be in a park somewhere. One evening, I was practicing Qigong alone in a field. This is here in Houston. And when I looked up, I could feel the presence of animals around me. And I looked, and there was a deer. This is no joke. A deer, a raccoon, and a couple. It's like I was Dr. Doolittle for a moment, because I've been practicing Qigong for an hour. And then I just felt the presence of those around me. I looked, and here's a deer standing there, eating grass, watching me. Imagine that, guys. Getting close to nature, so in depth with yourself that you become one. And how you become one is you have to detach from man's world of all the chaos. When you detach from chaos and you have your mind clear and your body calm, this is when the mind and the heart beat as one. When you do that, you become one with yourself. That is where the animals are. They're attached to the earth. The birds migrate. The animals move with the weather, with the food. They're in tune with the earth. Most of us are not, because we're tied to our electronics. Okay? Even though I'm here on Facebook talking to you guys, I'm here talking to you for one reason. Because I know talking right here on Facebook reaches more people than any of the other communications out there. And so what I'm looking to do is share as much information as I can about all of you out there watching, how to connect yourself and be calm and part of the earth, and not just a parasite vibrating out of control, running in chaos every day. Because basically that's what we become. A parasite is something living on something that's sucking the energy, the food, the whatever away from it. A parasite lives off something else. So are you commensalism, where you're living as one? Or are you a parasite, just taking and taking and taking? Which are you? Okay. Now, I don't mean this to pick on people, but this is a wake-up call for 2019 to get yourself in tune and stay in tune. That's the challenge. So if it takes you feeding some birds and squirrels in your patio, then do it. Now, I have a lot of protection cards. You guys may have seen angel cards. Do your cards in the morning. Look and see what the angel cards have to tell you about yourself. These are all things with practice that you can use every morning to get to know yourself and know yourself a little better. Now, I had some other things I want to talk to you guys about, but I did want to mention this. Maybe you saw some of the ads have been running. One thing else to challenge yourself this year is we revamped our martial arts school. Most of you have to know I'm also a martial artist. And so in this video, I want to share with you that also we started for the first time this year, because you guys have asked me over and over for kids. Well, this year, 2019, we have a kids program. We have a kids program twice a week. And kids learn judo, karate, jiu-jitsu, a lot of body contact, what kids need. They wrestle and they play at recess. So what do they need? They need to know how to grab and hold on to each other and how to wrestle and have fun with martial arts. Not get out there and as he punches each other in the nose, actually learn something about themselves. They learn about balance, discipline, being humble, many of the old traditional ways that we're losing today. And we also have now ladies, you want to learn some kickboxing? You need 0 skills. Kickboxing will be going on twice a week also, taught by myself, and we have a professional, Nazar Talibet. He's a professional. He was our #1 in the world at kickboxing. This guy was the true #1 title holder. And now he's a professional coach internationally. He's with an international organization, and he'll be teaching kickboxing also with me. So we'll interchange classes. So you'll have me, which is about all kind of strange things, right? Okay, but knowledge and wisdom about your body and your mind. And then you have Nazar teaching the class. He is a professional. So he will take you from nothing to something. I don't mean you get out there and fight in the ring. Just learn about yourself. Learn how your body moves. And this is a yang exercise like we're talking about, learning to hit a bag, to focus, to move your body, and just feel what it's like to be balanced physically as a human being. I mean, how many of you went out there and tried to kick something and then fell down? I had a patient one time, became a patient because he tried to kick a roach in his house and he missed and landed on his back and injured his spine. Okay. I don't know how many of you are kicking roaches around your living room, but don't do that. You may fall. I had a patient who kicked a rock in her driveway. I'm not going to mention anybody, Mom, and fell down in the street outside her building because she kicked a rock that was in her driveway. So what I'm telling you is learn to balance. Learn to kick efficiently. Learn to hold balance on one leg. Learn, because when you work both sides of your body, especially going across your center line, guess what you do? You're working the opposite sides of the brain. Dyslexia is a a large thing here in the world today. And all the classes teach you what? Cross-body movements to get your brain in balance. Many out there watching us are dyslexic and don't even know it. Where you see numbers and letters upside down or read something and can't remember what you just read. Okay? So once again, brain balancing. Anybody seen the DUI when the cop tests you and you do the anybody seen it? What's he doing? He's testing your brain. He's seeing if your brain's balanced. Now, right now, some of you stand back and close your eyes, truthfully, don't fall down, and close your eyes, open your arms, and try to touch your nose both sides and hit your nose. And you'll find that most of you watching right now can't do that. If you can, stand on one leg and then do it again and close your eyes. You probably can't even stand on one leg and close your eyes because of balance. And this is the great thing about health, guys. Since my entire existence, since I've been a kid, my dad was an Olympic athlete. He was an Olympic diver. My mother was all about the food, and dad was all about the body. He played all sports, played sports in college, and then went to Olympics, like I said, in diving. So our entire life and our family was about fitness, nature. We'd go fishing, we'd go camping, we'd be in the woods. My dad would says, "Does that look like a road?" And I'm looking in the woods going, "No, Dad, that looks like the woods." "Well, it is now." We drive his four-wheel drive and go way back into the woods and find a stream, set up camp, and that's where we camp for the weekend. That's how I grew up, guys. That's part of Louisiana. Now, with you guys, what does it take for you to get back in nature, which once again will put you back in touch with yourself? Well, maybe just being, like I said, the squirrels and birds and animals on your patio, that is being in nature. Most people who don't go out and enjoy their balcony or their patio, if you have one, or a yard. Now, Walter, you got a whole field out there, right? Okay. If I got some cows, some coyotes, things like that. Oh, by the way, have y'all seen the new species? It's half coyote and half wolf. Y'all seen that? It's a new species out right now. They've adapted to the city. So think about that. We took away their land. We put our houses and go, why are those coyotes out here? Well, because that's where they lived before us, and we're actually on their land. All right. So they have adapted, and now they're more like interbred with dogs and wolves, and so now they're much smarter. I was just down in Galveston fishing the other day, and there's a whole pack of coyotes around where I was. So they're living right in the middle of where we are. They've adapted. So what can we learn from that? As the Indians tell you, learn from the animals, right? What does the coyotes tell you? Coyote is called the trickster with the Native Americans. It's very smart. They're hard to catch them in traps because they learn. They're quick, but they adapt. So if you can learn anything by when you see an animal, if you learn what the animals, what the Native Americans know about that particular animal, helps you know something about yourself. And the coyote teaches you to adapt. So it doesn't matter what conditions you guys are in. If some of you are living in conditions they're negative conditions, you're in a negative relationship, a negative job, think about the coyote. Be the survivor in where you are. Survive and adapt. Every animal has something. Look at the possum. It knows how to play dead, right? Play dead to things. So if you're having a trouble with a day and you're feeling uncomfortable, you're feeling out of balance, what animal, what bug, what insect, what bird in the sky do you see that really catches your attention that day? When you find out what that is, maybe it's just an ant crawling on the ground. Read about it. There's a lot of great books out there. Ted Andrews has a book about animals. He's got several, actually. And so with Ted Andrews, he helps you understand the connection to people and animals by learning from the animals. So this is all part of my talk today, guys, is helping you, once again, to commune with the earth, commune with the animals, commune with yourself. We're all animals. We're mammals like the rest of them, but we look at them as outsiders. It's like I had a giant possum on my patio the other day, and of course the neighbor's like, "Oh, giant hairy animal," and I just look at it as I'm living in its territory. Its family generations probably been here, so I look at him. He's part of the patio. He's not coming inside trying to watch TV with me or take my book that I'm reading from me. He's just looking for food like all the others. Okay? So don't get so offensive when there's some kind of animal that's where you're living as well. Remember, commune, guys. Commune. So man in our past has always been about what? Conquer. We must conquer this earth. We must conquer these Indians. We must conquer these animals, right? What does that mean, to conquer? Well, obviously that means to probably kill and wipe out and take over. Things that not necessarily vibe with me. I like better to commune, and if you guys like what I'm saying today, I'm telling you guys the same thing. Find ways to commune. Now I had to get a paper for you guys to read today. If you guys don't know Doug Caparino, he's like a big brother to me, a very good friend. He's got a site on Facebook here, and he wrote a very good article today. He says, "My new rules for medical doctors." And I was waiting to read this later, but since I have time, I got a couple more minutes here to talk. I just want to read you this, and you guys just listen to this clearly. Now, every doctor has its purpose, guys. The medical profession, drugs have their purpose, surgery has its purpose, but to me, to commune with the earth, with yourself, is not to stay on medications. When I go to pharmacies, I watch people pick up 20 different medications in front of me, line standing there the other day. I just walked by and looked at the pharmacy. I want to see what people are picking up. I see people picking up bags of stuff. I was at the pharmacy the other day at CVS picking some things up, and there they are with bags of drugs. And of course, the patients come in. It's nothing to have a patient that comes in on 12 to 15 medications. But imagine taking 20 different medications a day and wonder why your liver and your kidneys are hurting and not doing well. And they read your blood work going, yep, your liver's not doing very well. It must be this strange condition you have. Well, could it be that maybe one of the medications you've been taking forever and ever, it was only meant to be taken temporarily? So really, medications are meant to be taken temporarily. Now, if you've had a massive heart attack, a heart surgery, yes, those medications you'll be on for a while afterwards. But once again, they're not meant to be permanent. Some will say it is. I'm here to tell you there's other natural ways to do that. My mom got out of the hospital years ago, and they said she needed all these medications, blood thinners, and these things. Remember, fatty acids, omega-3s, fish oils, omega-3s, flaxseed oils, these are blood thinners naturally. They will thin and clean the blood without harming your liver or the rest of your body. So this is our message today. This is Doug's work. I have to give Doug the credit. He's a great researcher, guys. He researches much better than I do. He looks at a lot of the research all the time. He's got a team of people. And so here's what he wrote today. He says, next time you go to your medical doctor, and those your medical doctors who are listening, I want you to really think about yourself as the Hippocratic oath that you said, to do no harm to the patients. Because I took it to first do no harm. And you should review yourself and remember, first do no harm to your patients as well. So when Doug wrote this, he had this in mind because he works with the MDs as well. He wants the doctors to start thinking the human body as an integrated whole, not a machine with separate parts that can be treated independently. Start thinking about underlying causes of a disease rather than merely managing the symptoms. Actually learn the role that diet and lifestyle play in optimizing health. A total of 6-8 hours to study in medical school does not make one an expert. Accept the fact that the proper use of right supplements can improve health. Accept the fact that exposure to 100,000 untested toxins released in the environment is going to have an impact on health. And that is indeed possible to detoxify many of these toxins even after they have entered the body. Stop accepting the perks. What this means is drug companies bribe a lot of the doctors to use their products. So stop accepting the perks from the pharmaceutical companies when they influence your treatment decisions. Stop accepting simultaneous positions with drug companies and the FDA advisory boards. Quite simply, it is unethical to pass regulatory decisions on drugs in which you have a financial interest. Evaluate alternative therapy treatments on a level playing field. Stop insisting that alternative health treatments must undergo rigorous peer-reviewed study before they can be used, and yet allow 85% of all medical treatments to be used untested. Stop being so, I won't use the word he used, difficult so as to think that if treatments don't come from the medical fraternity, they have no value. Stop being so arrogant as to think that alternative health treatments and supplements can be evaluated without the active participation of alternative healers. Going to medical school grants no expertise in alternative health. None, zero. Okay. So this goes on and on, guys, but you guys get the idea? Is if you're looking at your MD to be the expert in alternative health, they are not. Okay. People like myself, like Doug, others who've dedicated their lives to alternative health, we are the experts in coming to alternative functional medicine, natural medicine, holistic medicine, whatever name you want to give it. Okay. I'm not an expert on drugs or surgery. That is not my field. So when you think you need a surgery, you go to an expert in that area. But just like I had we had this famous cancer researcher sitting in my living room just recently. And she said the problem with natural medicine is it's not regulated by the FDA. And I said, really? I said, why should natural medicine be regulated and tested and spend $900 million to tell you this B vitamin is safe? Why do we need that testing? This is the brainwashing that's going on to the public right now. Is thinking, well, I shouldn't take this because it's untested by the FDA and it hasn't had this $900 million like a drug to say that it's safe to take. Well, I asked her one question. I go, okay, so this drug needs to be tested by the FDA, which is more of a political board than it is a scientific board. When it comes to natural medicine, have you ever considered, like, say, Chinese herbology, the shamans in South America, the plants in Peru, the herbs they use there? They've not gone any medical testing or FDA approval. She goes, no, and that's the problem. I said, well, the research has already been done. She goes, what's that? I go, how about in Chinese medicine, millions and millions of Chinese people for like the last 6,000 years plus? And what about the Peruvian, South American people? They've gone down for the shamans thousands and thousands of years. But those people, drugs have been around, what, guys, 70, 80 years, maybe? My God, how did any of us survive without them? How did our grandparents survive? You know, if you look at great-grandparents, a lot of them lived, what, 100 years old? They lived a long time. How did they possibly do that without medical drugs? And I'm not saying they're unnecessary. I'm not saying don't take them. I'm just saying, look how ridiculous it's gotten, guys, to say that we need this approval to use this herb, to use this vitamin. We should have an advisory board of our own, which we already do in natural medicine, but the FDA supersedes. So when you're making decisions out there, guys, remember, the FDA is for drugs, is a political body. When you look at natural medicine, yes, I mean, you may be looking at it unapproved by the FDA, but it's been approved by millions of people for years before that, thousands of years. The soil used to have a lot of microorganisms. The doctor told me this years ago, 20 years ago, he told me. He said the micronutrients are in the soil. The plant sucks up the nutrients. You eat the plant, you get natural probiotics from the bacteria that is alive in the plant put into your digestive tract. He goes, in 20 years, our soils will have no more bacteria. Basically, the ground has been poisoned by so many chemicals. It's cleaned, okay? They cleaned it of all good bacteria. So because of that, the purging of the soil, when you eat a plant now, you're not getting any natural bacteria like you used to. And that was why your gut was healthy. That's why my mother, almost 89, mom, 89, is got a great gut because she ate the old food from the old days. But now look at it, everybody needs a probiotic, and we do because we don't get the nutrients from the soil. Okay. All right, guys, I need to go. There's a lot I still got to say, but remember, I'm here on Facebook Live, this video, because I know I'm reaching a lot of you, and a lot of you can make a lot of comments here. And I know a lot of you have a lot of good information, but you guys who joined today, it's not really necessarily so much for you, but I know you are going to tell somebody else. You're going to tell somebody else that it's okay to get off those 20 different medications one at a time. It's okay to take natural medicine that's unapproved by the FDA. It's okay that your medical doctor doesn't like that and says that natural medicine doesn't work. It's okay. Okay? They know their specialty. Their couple hours in school that they studied this stuff. They don't know. They're not an expert. It's not their fault. Okay? Just hopefully you have a doctor who, like I have a good friend of mine I go to, he's my doctor. Very understanding, very open-minded guy. Okay? But some are like, not FDA approved, like they told my mom one time. I said, doctor, what can she take naturally for this condition? He goes, I don't use anything that's not FDA approved. I go, really? I said, do you drink water? He goes, well, sure. I go, it's not FDA approved. So you can imagine how the door slammed in my face as he exited the room. So these are the guys that we're talking about, the guys who are arrogant and close their mind and have been brainwashed by the system and by the drug companies. These are the guys, you simply fire them and you find someone who will listen to you, because there's plenty of medical doctors who are very open-minded and very much studying alternative health because they see, like everybody else, that the drugs are not doing it. Drugs will save your life. You go to emergency room, absolutely. You could gunshot, stab, heart attack, stroke, they're going to save your life. Okay? Then comes the natural medicine. But in my area, my specialty is prevention. I want to prevent you from having to take any of these medications. And with that, I'll end my story. Guys, you have a great day. Enjoy your January. Please send me lots of messages, and I'll see you guys soon.